Please remember to like, subscribe and comment, as we love to hear back from our viewers. Also, if you enjoy our videos, please consider becoming a patron of our show through Patreon and or GoFundMe. Links are listed below the video in the description. From the deepest, darkest recesses of Dangerous Nerds headquarters, Keith Moncrief and Gerry Kissell.
Hey guys, another episode of Pop Culture Minefield with Keith.
And Gerry.
And we're here to talk about, what is
Nerdy
it?
nerd stuff.
Nerdy nerd stuff.
Yes.
Dirty nerd stuff. We will be talking about some dirty nerd stuff in another episode. You'll like it. It'll be worth your while. But for this episode, we're just going to talk about some of the latest stuff, which of course, you know, exciting. I hate to sound like Mike Zero. This is exciting.
Yeah. We got a lot of good stuff for you.
I love Mike Zero. I think he's a sweet guy, but that guy uses certain words way too many times. Mm-hmm. What I find most exciting about this, what's really exciting for everyone about this, what everyone is excited about with this, it's like every video, he says it multiple times. I'm like, do you ever get tired of saying the word excited? just curious. But this episode, we're going to be talking about Master Chief.
Yeah, the Halo television series coming to Showtime.
And he told me, and I responded back. I said, yeah, I think I was excited about that 10 years ago. Back when they first started talking about Bungie and all those guys.
Oh,
you know, it's like, oh my God, because I was a big Halo player, you know, back in the day when I got my first Xbox because of Halo. Mm-hmm. Which was a Microsoft game. And the only way to play it was on Xbox. So I went and bought it. And my God, I wanted a movie. And they talked about it. Bungie did all sorts of, you know, they did special effects tests and all this stuff.
I think they even had Spielberg on board for a while.
And we never got it. One of the biggest games in the history of games. And they couldn't get a movie made from it. And now they want us to get excited about it. 10 years later, it's like most of the people, I know a lot of people that played that have died since the game came out. It's been that long.
Yeah, that's sad.
It does. It makes me cry. But tell them who's playing them.
It's an actor by the name of Pablo Schreiber. You know him as Pornstache from Orange is the New Black.
And he also is in American Gods, and he plays the part of the Leprechaun character.
Yep.
It's after the gold coin, you know? Want my gold coin, girly?
So, just think of that guy. He's playing Master Chief.
Yep. You know they're going to do something to his voice.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Will we ever get to see his face in the show? I don't know. We'll have to wait and find out. And, of course, it's going to be on Showtime, so... You know, there'll probably be bad language in it, but probably no banging, because that's Skinamax.
Yeah. But...
Because they got Warrior on Skinamax.
Yeah.
The Bruce Lee series that was supposed to, or was turned into Kung Fu.
Yeah, yeah.
With David Keith, stolen from Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
And they finally have brought it to TV, and I've been watching it. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
But is the violence good?
The martial arts in it are really good.
Good. Then
yeah.
That's
really... There is a lot of banging going on in that show because it's Skinamax.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. Showtime's all about the violence.
Yeah, and I like that. And they like the colorful language too. The colorful metaphors. So, and I'm a big
proponent
of colorful metaphors.
Yeah.
I don't use them on the show much, except for the live episode because I slipped. But I try to watch my P's and Q's. In fact, Susan, who's joining us, she was worried about that too. And I said, don't worry. If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Hey, look, sometimes the language will go blue.
I try to keep it clean. Damn it. All right, next on our list, of course, is DCU and Swamp Thing. Because they were big in the news over the last few days.
Yeah, apparently they shut down production and are only doing 10 of the 13
Well, they've already
episodes.
completed the 10 episodes, from what I understand,
Yes.
from what I read, and they stopped production going forward.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because now all this hubbub is coming up with Warner Brothers, and of course, Swamp Thing was going to be part of the DCU, which is the streaming service
Yeah.
that Warner Brothers Digital launched. But now the hubbub is, and in fact, our producer asked me today what I knew about it, and I said, I don't really know much of anything. This is news to me.
Mm-hmm.
That there was a chance that DCU might go away and be absorbed back into the Warner Digital. And I'm like, well, that makes no sense to me. I understand if they launch a master program, but DCU should be its own subsidiary of it, because I got to tell you, a lot of people interested in DCU won't be interested in the Warner catalog. They're only interested in DCU.
Yes, which is understandable.
You know, and
but as I told you,
right,
this is all about the elephant in the room,
which is going back to Disney Plus and how it's going into direct competition with Netflix. And Netflix, which we'll be talking about in the next episode, is doing things too. And we're watching everything change because Hollywood has gone to war with Netflix. And it's interesting. We had Dame, my goodness, I forgot her name. She played Mordred in Excalibur.
Oh, yeah, Dame.
I got Judi Dench in my head, and it's not.
No.
It's the beautiful actress, English.
Helen Mirren.
Kind of threw an FU to Netflix.
Yeah.
Spielberg is not happy with Netflix. So Hollywood is going to war with Netflix. They don't want Netflix to be able to be open to Oscars.
Well, I mean, and I understand. I understand exactly what they're saying and why they're saying what they're saying. The rules are pretty clear about how you are able to get an Academy Award, and it seems like Netflix is trying to.
It has to be released in 3 theaters. Is that the rule?
Yeah, but Netflix is doing the minimum possible to get all that done. Now, Amazon, on the other hand, is playing by the rules. So there's nothing.
They're releasing things theatrically.
They're releasing things
and making it available a few months later
and
through their service.
And what Spielberg is trying to say is that Netflix, no matter what they try to do, Netflix is not a studio. That's really what it comes down to.
And the next episode, news on that.
Yeah, you have studio. You have your awards for all of the films that are movies in theaters, and you have awards for those particular companies that make things for television.
Right.
And the way Spielberg puts it, and he's got a very good point. So far, Netflix hasn't really shown that they're anything but television.
A distribution. They're a distribution service.
Yes.
And that is it.
Yeah.
And they're not a distribution studio. They're a service.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he does have a valid argument, but if they can play by the rules the same way Amazon does, the argument's over.
Yes, that's what it all comes down to. It's not so much that it's too personal as it is the fact that Netflix is trying to skirt the rules, and Spielberg and other people are going, you can't do that.
Right.
If everybody else has to play by the rules, even the people that make even small independent films, you've got to play by those same rules.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But I'll bring it back because I went off on a tangent and led us down a strange path, and now we're coming back. I have ADD. That's what happens. We got to come back to the Swamp Thing because they were set to have 13 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, Warner Brothers DC shut down production on the last 3. Now, this is reminiscent of some stuff that happened on NBC with another show with Constantine.
Yeah.
Because they did the same thing there, and they completely screwed the pooch.
Yeah,
and that was a good show. But now they're doing it to their own streaming service, and then within 24 hours, this news pops up. What's going on with Warner Brothers Digital? And are they going to do away with DCU and follow this blueprint of becoming one big, huge streaming service?
And to help distract you, ooh, look, a trailer for Swamp Thing.
They did that because when they did it, and it got exposed by a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
When the YouTuber exposed what they did, they went into repair mode. And repair mode was release the teaser. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed seeing Swamp Thing. That was cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool image of him, even though we lost, what's his name? Dick DeRock.
Yeah.
Played him from the 1990 film all the way to the last episode of season 3.
Yeah.
Of the Swamp Thing. And he was really good as the character. It's really interesting to see this dude, because he was Jason Voorhees in the last Friday the 13th movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's played a lot of physically big characters, and I kind of like him coming up out of the water the way he did.
Yeah, it just looks good, you know.
The costume looks good.
If you are a fan, I think this is definitely going to be made for you. If you're not a fan of the comics, why aren't you a fan of the comics?
It was the very first, and thank God, Bernie writes and signed my very first comic book I ever bought, which was, with my own money, was the issue from 1972, I think, Swamp Thing versus Batman.
Wow.
And it's also the first DC comic to have a dirty word in it, because it didn't have the comic code thing on it anymore. This was after Stan Lee did what he did.
Yep.
And Batman says "damn" in it. Oh, I cussed again. Oh, no. But Bernie signed it for me, and I've been a fan since 1972. I love Swamp Thing.
Wow.
Even Alan Moore. And I am actually not a big fan of Alan Moore. I kind of think he's a hack. And I don't care if he hears about it. I really don't give a crap. I liked his iteration of Swamp Thing. It was interesting. He does well with other people's material.
Yeah.
He really does.
Yeah.
It's like he wrote one of my best and most favorite Batmans, is The Killing Joke. So,
wow.
But anyway, there we go. Swamp Thing, DCU. Interesting. What's going to happen? We don't know. We're going to keep an eye on it, and we'll let you know. Susan, of course, even though she won't be appearing until next Thursday, she's talking to us every day and giving her opinion on a lot of stuff.
Straight shooter.
Yep. Now, the real interesting news this week was a little remake of one of our favorite shows from childhood.
Yes.
And it's got Marky Mark in it. I'm sorry, Dirk Diggler. I mean, Mark Wahlberg.
Fresh from the Transformers films.
Fresh off the Transformers films. And Mark Wahlberg is going to be playing, I'm guessing, Steve Austin?
Yes.
I'm hoping to keep the name.
Yeah.
In the $6 billion man. And I'm excited. And we've got, what's his name as director?
It's director Travis Knight, who directed Kubo and the Two Strings.
I love that. I love his movies.
But also, he was the guy that directed the first real Transformers movie, Bumblebee.
Yeah, and I like that film too. It's funny. It was, I thought it was just going to be a girl film, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this. Or as I just learned this week, chick flick. Chick flicks. Netflix doesn't like them. I like chick flicks. This guy. Yeah. So, anyway, I thought it was going to be a chick flick, and it ended up being a really interesting, fun movie.
Yes.
And I felt like it was less eye-popping than the previous iterations of the Transformers, which I liked. I like story. Story is important to me.
Good characters.
Yeah. And I like the kid. What's her name? She's adorable. She was really good. She kind of, she's not quite as big as the other kid that played in the first two Transformers films, but she's got a chance. She's a really gifted young actress.
Yeah, and can sing too. She's a total
she can
package.
Sing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what does she sing?
Just your standard pop R&B type dance stuff. She's good.
I shall be Googling.
She is good. She is good.
I'm going to Google after this and find out, because that's interesting. But with the $6 billion man coming, I don't know. It's about time. I mean, I remember back when I didn't want him to make the film when they announced that Jim Carrey was going to play Steve Austin. I was like, no, a different comedy. No, I want a straightforward sci-fi. Because it was a book first. It was called Cyborg.
By Martin Kanan.
That's right.
Which I actually read that book.
I did too. When I was in the 9th grade. And I became a fan.
Mm-hmm.
I was already a fan of the show. And then I became a fan of the book. Because I didn't know. I was in high school and I'm like going, there was a book? I must find out.
Yeah.
So there you go. Now, last but not least is we've got sad news dealing with Marvel over at Fox. First, delays on the New Mutant.
Yeah.
I first of all, I'm not even that excited about that.
No.
It looked schlocky. It didn't look good. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy schlock just as much as any other horror fan.
Yeah.
But it just did not look like a true X-Men related film.
Well, and they were meant to have some reshoots to help refocus the film a little bit, and they still have yet to even...
To make it a horror film was just weird.
Yeah, but it could work. But, again, like a lot of other things, Fox kind of screwed that one up. Now it seems like not only is New Mutants in limbo, but I think the final television show left from Fox that is related to the X-Men, The Gifted.
It got X'd.
Yep.
X-Men got X'd. So there
and it was actually a good show.
And there's no word yet still on Legion. I know we were supposed to get one more season.
Yeah, one more season. Well, no matter what, this upcoming season of Legion is its last. Noah Hawley, the person behind all of it, said, "Yeah, this is going to be their final season." So, yeah, that's it. Now, I think it's kind of ironic that it pretty much just clears the deck completely for
Kevin Feige
to come in and
to do their thing.
Yeah.
So there we go. So New Mutant delayed and Gifted canceled. X'd out.
Good cast. And if you're one of those people that was always unsure, check it out.
I'm going to. Because last time you recommended something, it was pretty dang good. So there you go. And I guess that's it for today. This is Keith.
And that's Gary.
And this is Pop Culture Minefield.
Boom.
And we're out of here. Magically. Poof. See that? We disappeared. See you guys later. Y'all come back now.
Y'all come back now, you hear?
This is Chuck Dixon speaking to you from the control tower. It was a real kick to return to a series that I wrote 30 years ago. But even more fun is returning to an interrupted storyline that I was writing 30 years ago. Longtime Airboy fans can finally find out what happened next. Join us, support us, and keep them flying. Over and out.